The Red Cross responds to nearly 66,000 disasters every year, most of them house fires. Red Cross President and CEO Gail McGovern says you need to develop an evacuation plan and practice it, especially with your children. It takes just 2 minutes for a home to be engulfed in flames.
Practice those drills. We all think our kids know what to do. They don't. We need to teach them. We have started a large campaign where we're going into vulnerable communities and helping install smoke alarms. Already 92 lives were saved, and 4 of those lives were saved by a 5-year-old girl who remembered what we taught them during these fire drills, and she got her family out. We also have a slew of free apps that people can download onto their smartphones. It's what to do in every kind of disaster you can imagine, how to prepare and how to recover.
To help support all the Red Cross does and to make a financial donation, go to redcross.org. That's redcross.org.
See that cute little dog in the pet store window? Chances are it came from a puppy mill. A breeding facility that forces caged, neglected, and often sick dogs to churn out puppy after puppy to be sold for profit. Meanwhile, millions of wonderful, healthy pets end up in animal shelters. This leads to the killing of more than 9,000 by the end of today. But with one simple choice, you can help. Just by deciding to adopt instead of purchase your next pet. Animal shelters are full of amazing pets looking for a home. When you adopt your new best friend, not only are you saving a life, you're taking a stand against puppy mills. When your friends see the smart choice and impact you've made, they adopt their next pet and share with 5 of their friends, who share with 5 more. Before long, thousands get involved. Pet stores stop selling dogs from puppy mills, and even more lives are saved. And with your help, we can save them all. Visit bestfriends.org/puppymills to learn more.
It's Thursday night, and you're grabbing drinks with some friends. Started off with a pitcher for the table, which quickly becomes 2. There's pool. And there's the photo booth.
All right, everybody squeeze in. Say cheese!
Followed naturally by an order of wings. And another.
Can we get some extra ranch sauce?
Then there's the ceremonial nightcap.
So what are we doing this weekend?
And lastly, it's back to the car, which, if you're buzzed, could be the most expensive night of your life. Getting pulled over for buzzed driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzzed driving, because buzzed driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Every day, the men and women of the United States Marine Corps demonstrate their commitment to defend the American way of life. Since 1775, we have served our nation as a force in readiness. From combat operations to humanitarian assistance in every corner of the world. No matter where the mission takes us today or wherever our country needs us tomorrow, we always remember the land we call home. As Marines, we take a stand for each other, for our nation, for us all. The few, the proud, the Marines.
The human voice. It can be sweet as music, powerful as thunder,
and so, my fellow Americans,
cheerful as laughter. But for millions of people, it can also be a sign of COPD. This serious lung disease can make it so hard to breathe, you often can't catch a breath or finish a sentence, let alone carry a tune. And many who have COPD don't even know it. That's where your voice comes in. If you think you or a loved one have symptoms, talk with a healthcare provider. Early diagnosis can mean better treatments and quality of life. Join us in raising our voices for the millions with COPD who can't. Learn more, breathe better at NIH.gov.
As a mother, you don't want to have to worry about this bill is coming, but then she needs this chemo. That's a decision you shouldn't have to make.
It's a huge burden lifted financially, and so it allows you to give singular focus to your child. I've never known a hospital that takes care of their patients so thoroughly.
That was the first thing I was like, how are we going to do this? When they told us that we didn't have to pay a single bill, I was like, wow. They pretty much have saved us.
It's like the world has been lifted off of your shoulders, and now your focus is supporting this child.
There is not another hospital like St. Jude. The patient care is unmatchable. It saved my life. It saved my daughter's life. It saved our family.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
The following program is closed captioned for the thinking impaired.
Zinc Media. Feel the power of knowledge.
We are here on this December number 11 in the year of our Lord 2017. So you probably want to get out there and finish your Christmas shopping if you haven't already done it. Yeah, it's Monday morning. And, well, I know you probably got to do some work. You got some work to do. And you've got other things to do, but don't forget your Christmas shopping, because we would be remiss if we did not, fulfill our American duty with all this wonderful commercialism. That's our American duty, is to be over commercialized for this holiday. For Christmas, there aren't many other holidays out there that are as overly commercialized as Christmas. Well, I mean, you've got Halloween. Well, yeah, it's number 2 as far as the amount of money being spent on a holiday. It's number 2 right after Christmas. They haven't been able to really commercialize Easter. However, you probably want to know one of the biggest commercialized holidays there is, and that's St. Valentine's Day. Now, I do believe St. Valentine's Day was basically invented by the Hallmark card company to sell more cards. But honestly, it's people have big budgets. They often spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars for Christmas gifts for a number of, but it's spread out over a number of different people, and including children. And let's face it, some children's toys are not exactly cheap. But probably the biggest commercialized holiday, because it's all about commercialism. It's about love. Valentine's Day is probably the biggest ridiculous commercialized holiday, at least here in America. Now, I don't know about other countries, but here in the USA, Valentine's Day is up there. I mean, it's a day that all you're supposed to do is, you don't get time off for it. So you've got to spend your time working that day, unless it's on Valentine's Day it's always in the same day. February 14th. It's smack in the middle of winter, and smack in the middle of probably the cold, usually recorded as the coldest month in many areas of the year. So it gives us it's supposed to give us a respite from the blah season of winter. But all it's for is you're supposed to go out and spend money on somebody. There's no making. Christmas has, you can make gifts for people. It could be food gifts. It could be handcraft gifts. But this is not the case with Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day is straight up. If you're a guy who's in love with a woman, you're supposed to straight up go out and buy her chocolate, roses, and diamond earrings, or I think that's the big thing for Valentine's. Diamond necklace or diamond earrings on Valentine's Day. Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. And it's not supposed to be reciprocated, by the way. Does anybody? I mean, I know women go out there and buy their husbands or their boyfriends, like Valentine's Day cards, but that's about it. Valentine's Day card, because the guy is supposed to then take the woman out to dinner, or he's supposed to spend a whole hell of a lot of money on ingredients to try to cook her the greatest meal that she's ever had. It's all about spending money. And we've been convinced that if we spend money, it's going to show how much we love the other person. Show her how much you love her. Buy her these pair of diamond earrings that are highly overpriced. Well, that's the truth. There is no holiday that is more commercialized than Valentine's Day. Now, you may not spend on average as much as you spend on Christmas. And I know Christmas, but the big thing about Christmas is it is a real holiday that's specifically designed to celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ. And yes, it's been taken over by commercialism and corporations all over the planet. But the idea and the notion of where it came from and where it started and what it's for, the basic idea is still there. The basic idea of St. Valentine's Day is, in order to prove how much you love somebody, you have to spend money on them. Buy them. Even we're taught very young as well. Anybody? I don't. Do they still do this? Remember those Valentine's Day cards that you used to buy them in the box for elementary school? Yeah, and everybody would have. You'd make that stupid envelope that you'd hang on the side of your desk. Anybody remember that? Those? And I remember being, my mother making me wait until she went out and bought that stupid box of punch-out cards. You remember those? I mean, there was do they still have those things? And you were supposed to, and you get the candy hearts. Remember the candy hearts with the little sayings on them? And you're supposed to put a candy heart in the tiny envelope with that stupid card, punch-out card. And then you're supposed to write your classmates, and you're supposed to put, your teacher says, now be fair, everybody gets the same, and you're supposed to put one in everybody's little paper mail box hanging off the desk. Well, there were people, I remember people in class, there were kids, fellow students in my class, they were akin to Charlie Brown. My mother always said, well, you're going to give everybody, because your teacher would send home a list of names, every kid's name. So you'd make sure you give everybody a card. And my mother would say, you're giving everybody a card. Now, it didn't matter if I liked the person or not. Now, I'm not talking about romantic. When you're in third grade, there's not romance there. But everybody gets a card. Anybody remember those? I mean, it's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Looking back on it, some people might have fond memories of it, and I'm looking back thinking, that has got to be the most ridiculous thing I've ever... Valentine's Day is supposed to be about love. And here you are, you have a bunch of first, second, and third graders running around trying to stuff these little, these stupid cards. I'm sure the cards only cost a couple of bucks. But you're running around trying to stuff these cards and making sure you don't hurt anybody's feelings because you don't want to miss anybody. And there's no love there. It's out of sense of obligation. Valentine's Day is not supposed to be about obligation. It's supposed to be about love. Right? You love the other person. Well, what are you teaching a first, second, and third grader who doesn't know anything about romantic love at all? Doesn't get it, doesn't care about it, isn't interested in it, and yet you're telling them, well, you got to give everybody a card. That's out of gets a sense of obligation. But anyway, what we have today is we have some massive commercialization of the holiday, which is supposed to be used to celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ. Now, with that said, because Christmas has been so commercialized, it is now believed that Christmas is a non-secular holiday. Well, I'm sorry, it's not. It's a secular holiday. It's a holiday designed specifically for Christians to celebrate what? The birth of Christ. I don't know what's so difficult to understand. It's called Christmas for a reason. If you want a secular holiday, then go ahead and, utilize Halloween for your secular holiday. No, it can't. No. It is. I know some people are saying, well, what about Thanksgiving, right? Well, no, Thanksgiving is also not a secular. Thanksgiving is also a Christian. Look, you people out there who keep saying that there's separation of church and state. It's in the Constitution. By the way, it's not. You want separation of church and state. Well, that means you're going to have to give up some major holidays here. You're going to have to give up, and no more time off for you then. No more government shutdown for Thanksgiving. Because the Thanksgiving proclamation, for every president who's issued one, gave thanks to God Almighty and his wonderful providence. It's a Christian holiday. So no more Thanksgiving. Oh, and well, I know we don't get time off for Easter. Most people don't. But those of you who do, government, no. Work that Easter Sunday. Get those Sunday packages delivered on Sunday, Easter Sunday, because that's obviously a Christian holiday. Yeah, I guess that's probably why Easter hasn't been overtaken with commercialism, because it's pretty damn hard to really commercialize the rising from death of Jesus Christ. It's pretty hard to commercialize that, I guess. So that's why Easter has never taken off so much as far as being a big holiday. But that's if you normally work on and normally get Easter Sunday off or Good Friday off, well, no, you don't get that anymore, because that's obviously a full-on Christian holiday. Christmas, yeah, full-on. We don't see. Well, there seems to be lately an attempt to commercialize Hanukkah, but Hanukkah is also being You know why Hanukkah is now being commercialized? Because Christians have been over the past decade. There have been an increasing number of Christians who've recognized Hanukkah as one of their own holidays. There are many Christians who celebrate Hanukkah. Now, what is Hanukkah? Hanukkah is all about celebrating a gift or a miracle of God, a work of God. That's what Hanukkah is all about. 8 days of, the oil lamps lasted for 8 days, and they shouldn't have lasted 8 days because there wasn't enough oil, but it was a miracle of God. That's what Hanukkah celebrates. And Christians view that as, well, it's not a redemption holiday. A lot of Jewish holidays have to do with redemption. Well, of course, Christians believe that Jesus Christ was the ultimate sacrifice, so there's no more sacrificial or redemption holidays needed. But we have Hanukkah. Now, that is one of the few holidays on the so-called Jewish calendar that celebrates God's providence or a miracle of God. So Christians are starting to find out about what Hanukkah really is about, and they're starting to celebrate it too. So you're starting to see all sorts of Hanukkah decorations out there. Besides the menorah and the dreidel, you're starting to see all kinds of Hanukkah decorations. So Hanukkah is kind of being commercialized too at the moment. But nobody gets Hanukkah off. Nobody gets time off for Hanukkah. So you go about your business on that during those 8 days. No big deal. But you have Thanksgiving, you have Christmas, you have Easter, Those are all Christian holidays. Don't celebrate them. Don't take time off. If you want to separate, church and state and all this kind of crap, because you think that the United States is a completely and totally and utterly secular country, by the way, which we are not. I mean, just read the stupid damn Constitution for once, and you find out that we're not. By the way, Constitution is not stupid. It's a great document. It's very smart. But for those people who haven't, yeah, you're the stupid ones. Any case, there has been a bombing in New York City. I guess they have somebody in custody, but we'll discuss that, plus more Judge Roy Moore news and a whole bunch of other stuff coming up. So stay tuned.
You're listening to me, your lovable host, L. Rod, here on the Rod Eccles Show.
We've all heard of male enhancement, but now there's an expert on true male enhancement in the areas that really count. In Herb Ellis's book, Husband 2.0, Real Male Enhancement, you'll find answers to questions like, why doesn't she want to have sex? A quick start, quick results workout guide, plus what you can do as a side hustle to make money now. With all the great tips in this book, every man can benefit. Get the book, Husband 2.0, Real Male Enhancement, on Amazon.com.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 800-595-2614 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 595-2614 to take your call now. Call 800-595-2614. That's 800-595-2614. Again, 800-595-2614.
Yes, that sound means that it is time for this morning's Christmas song. By the way, you only have, Christmas is 2 weeks away from today. 2 weeks from today on Monday. Yeah, Christmas falls on a Monday this year, which is really kind of odd. But it is what it is. And now, you got 2 weeks. What is it, 14 days till Christmas? 13 days till Christmas, depending on how you count it. And you'll be able to shop right up until then. You could probably order on that Friday. Christmas is on a Monday. You could probably order on that Friday. And your gift could probably arrive Christmas. There's Christmas Eve delivery, isn't there? Sunday, yeah, it's good Sunday. There you go. And then 25th, of course, the 26th is good old. What is Boxing Day in Canada? I'm not sure. But in any case, let's get to this morning's Christmas song. Going back to last year's, "We Wish You a Merry Christmas," a great little ditty. Yes, indeed. We wish you a Merry Christmas, rock punk style. That's the way to go. Get your blood going, doesn't it? Get you pumped up. Hey, by the way, there is a it's all over the news this morning. There is a There is an explosion in New York, Manhattan blast at the Port Authority bus terminal amid reports of a possible botched suicide bomb. Now, this really kind of brings it home, and I'm not saying I was in any danger, but over the weekend I was actually in New York City. Yeah, I just went down there for the day. Went to Rockefeller. Jeez, I sound more like a New Englander every day. Rockefeller Center to see the tree. It's a big tree this year. And to be honest, I've never actually seen the Rockefeller Center Christmas tree live before. So I went down there and I saw it. Now the problem is that you want to talk about commercialization. Do you realize that they they had one-way traffic for pedestrians? There were so many people around that thing. But it just wasn't for it was, is Saks Fifth Avenue is across the street? That was the big problem. It wasn't the tree itself. It wasn't 30 Rock and Rockefeller Center and the little mini ice skating rink with a bunch of people, that's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. People trying to run. You know how expensive it is? It's ridiculous pricing to rent skates to skate there. But anyway, people want to do it because they just want to feel cool. Great. Go ahead, do that. I'm not. But in any case, it wasn't the tree itself that was such a big draw. It was Saks Fifth Avenue, which is basically across the street, literally across the street from 30 Rock and Rockefeller Center. They had this Snow White themed Christmas thing going on their entire building, set to music with all these lights. I mean, it was just. I got a little bit of video. I think I'll post it later this morning on the website rodeccles.net so you can see what I'm talking about. But that was a draw. But that's not the big thing, by the way. Now, folks, you're probably, what does that have to do with blowing up a bomb in New York City? We'll get to it when we get back. I'll tell you exactly what happened.
You're listening to the Rod Eccles Show. Let truth be told.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind. Ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. We leave no warrior behind. Wounded Warrior Project is a non-profit organization created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war. Whether those scars are physical or mental, we're here to make sure that they heal. And whether it's helping those with post-traumatic stress disorder live a normal life again, or giving much-needed support to injured warriors in veterans' hospitals. Because no one deserves our help more than the men and women who risk their lives to keep us safe. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind. Ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
Think fast. In the short time it takes to listen to this message, a small flame can turn into a big fire. Several minutes more, and thick, poisonous smoke may have filled your lungs and reduced your ability to respond. Give it 5, and your entire home may be filled with flames.
Keep breathing. We've got you.
Don't let your world go up in smoke. Have working smoke alarms and practice an escape plan for you and your loved ones. Learn more at usfa.fema.gov because fire is everyone's fight.
Have you mixed your pain meds, your sleep meds, your allergy meds? Call the Poison Helpline. Has your child eaten a tube of toothpaste, a chip of paint, a wild mushroom? Call the Poison Helpline. Have you been bitten by a spider, a snake, an insect? Call the Poison Helpline. Poisonings can happen at the home, on the job, or in the great outdoors. Call the Poison Helpline first for fast, free advice from medical professionals. Call 1-800-222-1222 anytime, anywhere. 1-800-222-1222. Save the number, save a life. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Hi, I'm Hilary Duff. As a mom, I'm proud to support the March of Dimes in helping more women have full-term pregnancies and healthy babies. That's why I walk in March for Babies. The money we raise funds research and local programs that help babies overcome the challenges of premature birth and birth defects. Sign up today at marchforbabies.org. Together, we can help make healthier babies possible for thousands of families.
It's pretty amazing when you consider that 7 years ago, we didn't have the treatments we have now. We cure 80% of children with cancer. Go back 50 years, we were curing 20 to 30%. This is the miracle story of modern medicine. We understand what makes this cancer tick. And of course, without donors from around the world, this just couldn't happen. There's one thing we're focused on, and that's beating this thing.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
It's Thursday night, and you're grabbing drinks with some friends. Started off with a pitcher for the table, which quickly becomes two. There's pool. And there's the photo booth.
All right, everybody squeeze in. Say cheese!
Followed naturally by an order of wings. And another.
Can we get some extra ranch sauce?
Then there's the ceremonial nightcap.
So what are we doing this weekend?
And lastly, it's back to the car, which, if you're buzzed, could be the most expensive night of your life. Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
America's wounded warriors are coming home. After serving on foreign shores, these brave men and women are returning to their families and communities. Many have wounds you can see, and many have wounds you can't see, like post-traumatic stress disorder. Now that these warriors are back home, they are ready to enter the civilian workforce. To help, Wounded Warrior Project has developed the Warriors to Work program, a career counseling service that helps warriors translate their military experience to the civilian workplace. These extraordinary men and women bring proven world-class job skills and a unique perspective on teamwork to the job. And to ensure the right warrior finds the right job, Wounded Warrior Project works with employers to find just the right match. When you hire a wounded warrior, you hire an intelligent, talented, and committed new employee. Contact Wounded Warrior Project at findwwp.org. Welcome home the brave.
Soy el Diego y soy un femicida porque todas se mueren cuando ven que mi ropa no combina. Yo hago música para agarrarme minas, pero solo me agarro de los postes al caminar. Me encantó conocerte, pero tengo que mear. Ella baila sola y es la hora de bailar. Todo el mundo de pie y yo tengo pie plano. No tengo plata, pero una petaca en el banano que tenía que adelgazar. Me dije todo el año, tú más guatón que nunca, ya llegó el verano. No me di ni cuenta y ya tengo un vaso en la mano. Lo bebo con movimiento rectilíneo uniformemente acelerado. Bailamos mal, muy mal.
Now, of course, unfortunately, I don't know half of what they're saying. I can pick up a word or two there, but has anybody ever heard Korean rap? Yeah, it's a funny. Well, yeah, it's the funniest thing. And we've got the whole K-pop thing. Everybody knows about K-pop. The problem with K-pop, I have found is, well, I don't follow it, but it just seems like this is how it works. I don't know if it works this way or not. So if anybody who follows K-pop knows differently, then let me know. But what it seems to me is that K-pop is mostly, well, like America, it's mostly boy bands, and the boy bands tend to well, from what I've seen, they tend to have 4 to 6 members. Now, I don't know how you'd be a boy band with 6 members, but you have 4 to 6 members. And it seems to be all about the looks. And if you are not the front man of the boy band, you have no career after the first 1 or 2. Really, it seems like these groups are only out there for 1 or 2 albums, and that's it. Now, if I have that's my 30,000 foot view of it, because there's a ton of them. The K-pop boy band craze is still going on. Now, boy bands have died out a lot here in the Western world. If you North America, Western Europe, boy bands have died down. Are there any big? Well, the last big boy band was One Direction, right? And now they've pretty much split up. They've all got their own solo albums, or most of them do. I don't know. Is there any other boy bands out there? I really don't pay. So but in Korea, boy bands are like still huge. And I know we had the guy, Opum Gangnam Style. Well, that's basically Korean pop rap. It's funny as hell, actually. I always find it funny when you have a bunch of Asians, be they Korean, Japanese, or Chinese, it's so weird. I do love the Asian culture. I mean, it's very diversified. I mean, Southeast Asia to Northeast Asia is totally different. But I do love all that culture. It's amazing. But what I find interesting is that a lot of, especially if you're Japanese or Korean, they put a high emphasis on being pale. The darker Asians are not seen as desirable or as beautiful as and they go through a lot, especially in South Korea. They go through a lot to try to keep their skin as pale as possible because they like white people. I don't know why Asians are so infatuated with white people, but they are. But when it comes to certain types of culture, they fully embrace black urban culture. It's the funniest thing to see Asians running around dressed up as thugs from the inner city of Detroit or Chicago. Rod, are you making fun? And I'm not really making. I'm just observing. I'm not making fun of these people. I'm just I'm just telling you about an observation that I have. It's stop and think about it. I mean, to me, it's fascinating. I love to view and see and learn about other people's cultures, and I love to see how they view American culture. Now, believe it or not, that is what a lot of foreign cultures think about America. That they think that we all run around, with our pants down below our ass cheeks, and we have this sort of urban style, and that we all walk with this kind of swagger that you see, these people walk with, and they think that that's normal America. It's not any different from what the stories of America have always been. The streets are, in America, the streets are paved with gold, that kind of thing. And there were stories that actually, that people actually believe the metaphor about America the streets being paved with gold. It really was meant that you could make your fortune here. You would have the freedom to make your fortune here, where you would not be able to do so where you currently were. But people took that metaphor to mean that there were some streets that were literally, because America was so prosperous and so wealthy, that we actually literally paved some of our streets with gold. You could walk and drive your horse and buggy over golden streets. And then people get here and they look and they see usually the first thing that they see is New York City, or it was San Francisco, and the slums in both of those cities. And it was a rude awakening to a lot of immigrants. It really was. But the reality is that we are a land of where you can make your own personal or family dreams come true. You have the freedom still to do that, if you work for it. Now, there are some that come to this country and think that, and they've gotten the notion, and to some degree they found it to be factual. Their family dreams are to get on government assistance. And that has happened. But it is usually ethnically orientated. Believe it or not. I mean, this is the truth, folks. I know some people don't like to hear this. This is the truth. For the most part, you are not going to get Asians who are stuck on or stay on government assistance. They're not going to do it. They just won't. Well, they have a huge distrust of government anyway, because considering where most of Asians come from, they don't like their governments. They're coming from the Philippines, government's all screwed up. They're coming from Vietnam, government is all communist and still screwed up. Coming from China, well, enough said there. The only places where they might be coming from where they have some sort of a sense of freedom, so it's not a big shock to their system when they come here, is Japanese and Koreans. Well, how about Taiwan, right? Well, the Taiwanese are really, considered to be Chinese, but then they're so damn scared of being killed by the Chinese that when they get here and realize that they're no longer under that threat, it kind of it's a shock to their system too. But you don't see a lot of Asians on government. If they're not born here, you don't see Asians on government assistance. Well, what are you saying, Rod? I'm saying that people that come across our southern border, legally and illegally, when it comes to immigrants, other than now the Muslim, Islamic people, Muslims, the so-called refugees. They could be from the Sudan too. They're a Muslim country. But those are the ones that end up on government assistance. As a matter of fact, I think the Islamic or Muslim refugees are giving the Central American Latinos who come here a run for their money to see who can get more government. Look at the facts. I'm not making this up. I'm not trying to be racist here. I'm just telling you the facts. The facts are, when it comes to immigration and those people who are receiving government assistance, there is a group of people that is more likely and gets more of our tax dollars than other groups of people. We don't have to support people who come from Asia. But we tend to be supporting, for a long period of time, people who are coming from the Middle East and south of our border. And that's not all south of our border, by the way. If they're coming from South America proper, no, we don't support them. Brazilians, Venezuelans, Argentinians, they tend to not be on government assistance. But you get the Central Americans, like, I know Mexico is not Central America, but let's, for shits and giggles, lump them in there. If you're talking Mexicans, Guatemalans, Hondurans, from that area of the planet, there's a lot of them that are on government assistance. And of course, we see the stories every once in a while about giving all this money and awards and rewards and housing and all this kind of stuff to the so-called Middle Eastern refugees. And they get jobs handed to them over an American citizen. So don't tell, there is a culture difference. Most Eastern Europeans, when they come here, do not get on government assistance. Well, if they're not forced into human trafficking and human slavery, they don't get on government assistance. Because again, their whole thing is they don't trust government too much. So just look at the government numbers. The government, it's amazing the type of, we always talk about, we shouldn't be racist and we shouldn't do this and shouldn't do that to delineate the differences among ourselves. And I get that and I agree. But our government Most of this stuff was set up by Democrats and liberals in the first place, not Republicans, but our government keeps track of all of us in such a divisive way. And then they go ahead and they just post all that information. You can find it out on going to many government websites. And they'll tell you. If they've got the information, if they can tell you if they have been tracking to see how many Irish people go into AA, and just follow me here for a second. If the government has a survey and they're tracking Irish people and how many go into AA, you'll be able to find that information on the web. I mean, this is the U.S. government is probably the world's. You want to talk about marketing? It's the world's biggest marketer, basically. It'll tell you anything you want to know about different ethnic groups. So when I come across this stuff and I'm telling you about it, it isn't because I'm trying to be racist. I'm getting the information because you're going to get this stuff from liberals. Oh, you're being racist? Oh, why do you want to be so racist? How can you be so racist? You're a fascist? No, I'm getting this in. I'm not making this stuff up. I'm getting it from our government. They're the ones that have got the information. Otherwise, I wouldn't even think of it. But government stats are telling us who are the ones that are getting who are the foreigners who are most likely and getting most of our government assistance, i.e. our tax dollars. And it isn't Asians. Just so people know. Maybe it's because they like boy bands so much still. I don't know, but evidently there was an explosion in Manhattan. And the reason why I was bringing up my little short trip to New York City, Manhattan, over the just one day. I live close enough where I could drive to a train station, in Connecticut, and take the train, a short hop train into Grand Central Station, and then walk about, and then turn around and come home, same way. Well, at the Christmas tree at Rockefeller Center, on the sidewalk, because the sidewalks are packed with people looking at Saks Fifth and the display that they have going there. And these people are just... Now, keep in mind that New York City is probably the most Jewish populated city outside of Israel. If there was a Jewish population capital outside of Israel, it would be New York City. I don't think there's a greater concentration or more numbers of Jewish people, whether they're practicing Jew or non-practicing Jew, like practicing Christian or non-practicing Christian. I don't think there's a greater concentration of Jewish people anywhere on the planet outside of Israel than New York City. You have this small band of people walking through the Christmas display. They were portraying and they were protesting moving the capital to the United States, recognizing the capital of Israel as being Jerusalem. They were a bunch of Palestinians, evidently. Free Palestine! Free Palestine! No more Israel! Free Palestine! I mean, this is what they were chanting. There was about 7 to 10 of them, I guess. It was hard to tell because there were so many people that they were trying to shove through. But here they were in a Christian-based country, in a Jewish-filled city, on a Christian holiday, protesting Jews. I mean, that takes some balls. But how much you want to bet a lot of those people in that group were on government assistance? I'm not joking. Now, I didn't get a chance to stop and ask them anything because, there were too many people around. Too many people. And the police presence, by the way, it was redonkulous. They were everywhere. I mean, that was probably a good thing, but the police were everywhere. And yes, they had one-way traffic for pedestrians. You couldn't enter you could only enter Rockefeller, the Rockefeller area, coming from the direction that we were coming from. There's only one way to get there. They had the crosswalks all blocked off, and they were one exit only for pedestrians. I was looking at this thing. You got to be kidding me. One way. Yes, it was one way. But now, why did this person? Evidently, there was an explosion this morning at the Manhattan's Port Authority bus terminal amid reports of a possible botched suicide bomb attack. Police have confirmed they are evacuating the area following reports of an explosion. Why? Now I'm confused. Why would they do it today? Why would they not try to do it when all those people were hollering and gathered around that night? I'm not trying to say that it would have been better. Obviously, it would have been worse. But you got to ask, what the hell is going on? And what is De Blusterous doing about this? Seriously.
Hello, America. It's me, your history. I remember a time when we thumbed our nose in a king's face, sent him packing. And when fascists and emperors talked a little bit too loud, we showed up, tore their cities to the ground, and then rebuilt them just to prove we could. We put men on the moon, we won a Cold War, and we elected fearless leaders who led fearless people. What the hell happened to you, America? Back in my day, we didn't elect a big-eared community organizer. We punched him in the kidney. Maybe it's time you came home, America. Home where you belong.
We've all heard of male enhancement, but now there's an expert on true male enhancement in the areas that really count. In Herb Ellis's book, Husband 2.0, Real Male Enhancement, you'll find answers to questions like, why doesn't she want to have sex? A quick start, quick results workout guide. Plus, what you can do as a side hustle to make money now. With all the great tips in this book, every man can benefit. Get the book, Husband 2.0, Real Male Enhancement, on Amazon.com.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 800-595-2614 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 595-2614 to take your call now. Call 800-595-2614. That's 800-595-2614. Again, 800-595-2614.
It started with a knock, but it wouldn't end there. What happens in the story next, many wouldn't understand, and most wouldn't believe. 5 + 2 = Perfection by Samuel Rosette Jr. is a must-read. The scriptures within are reminders of the ancient past, and yet intriguingly infuses with texts which stand on the edge of the stage of relevancy. Available online at Westbow Press, Amazon, Books A Million, Barnes & Noble, and SamuelRosetteJr.com.
This is Free America broadcasting on the Rod Eccles Show with a message to all patriots trapped behind the lines in California, New York, Boston, and Chicago. Don't give up, true lovers of America. Even as we speak, moves are being made to drive the invaders back to the land from which they came. Defeat the would-be dictators and lift the chains of tyranny from around your neck. Stay strong. Stay brave. You're not forgotten, and you're not alone. Until next time, patriots, this is Free America signing out.
have a group of Palestinians, or people who are pro-Palestinian at least anyway, walking down the streets of New York City, Manhattan, over by the Rockefeller Center during a Christmas holiday lighting season, across the street from Saks Fifth Avenue. You know, I just happened upon it. I didn't even know that Saks was doing this. I'm walking by this and I see the display and I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. And then I round the corner, onto Fifth Ave, and there it is, the music. Hear the music and the lights going to the music, and I'm like, oh, guess I got to get across the street to 30 Rock to see what this really looks like. And I finally it took me like 20 minutes across the freaking street. That's how packed this place was, folks. That's how packed it was. Literally took me 20 minutes to cross the damn street in New York City. It was a weekend evening, and it wasn't very cold, and it was before Winter Storm Benji blew through town. We're naming everything now, so that's a whole different story. I know a lot of people ask me, well, Rod, how do you get all these stories, man? It's called life. I actually go out there and live. I don't huddle up, behind my computer for 24/7. So it's just who knew I would be in New York City just to go see the damn tree at 30 Rock Center, because I'd never seen it before in person. I'd see this huge display at Saks Fifth Avenue. Basically, there were more people watching Saks Fifth Avenue than were looking at the tree. And at the same time, you have these idiosos who are pro-Palestinian protesting Jerusalem is now being recognized as, folks, you can't make this stuff up.
Have you ever thought to yourself, I'm a leftist elite Hollywood a-hole? If so, good news. The Rod Eccles Hollywood Community College is now open, featuring such courses as unemployment is not paid vacation. No, Americans don't want to spend $19 for an order of French fries, and the ever popular shut the hell up. Why, just listen to this big-time celebrity endorsement.
I'm not Rosie O'Donnell, and I think this school's offensive, sexist, and racist.
And I think you're a giant a-hole who needs to shut the hell up. Hey, we teach a course in that. The Rod Eccles Hollywood Community College, where being an a-hole is not a guarantee you'll be an A student.
I considered suicide so I wouldn't put my family through all the pain.
Many of our warriors are returning home from the battlefield, only to face a new war as they struggle with devastating injuries. At Wounded Warrior Project, we understand. We're there to help.
Even though you think you're broken, you're not. It's the physical and the emotional healing that Wounded Warrior Project provides.
With a gift of just $19 a month, you can join Wounded Warrior Project. You'll help provide critically needed programs and services that rebuild lives.
Beautiful. There you go, buddy.
The ongoing needs of our wounded and their families will continue for many years to come. Now is the time to show your support. Call now or go online with your gift of just $19 a month, and we'll send you this Wounded Warrior Project blanket.
It made me feel that there's people out there that care about us.
After this event, we can finally maybe start to heal as a family and move forward.
We need your help. The families are hurting.
For many of our wounded heroes, the greatest casualty is being forgotten. That's why your gift of just $19 a month is so important. Please call or go online right now.
Think fast. In the short time it takes to listen to this message, a small flame can turn into a big fire. Several minutes more, and thick, poisonous smoke may have filled your lungs and reduced your ability to respond. Give it 5, and your entire home may be filled with flames.
Keep breathing. We've got you.
Don't let your world go up in smoke. Have working smoke alarms and always stay in the kitchen when cooking at high temperatures. Learn more at usfa.fema.gov, because fire is everyone's fight.
And now, a message from the American Migraine Foundation.
It's an absolute nightmare. I was terrified. It was like your head's going to explode.
Migraine is a disabling disease.
Just all of a sudden couldn't see.
Migraine has ruined my life.
Absolutely terrifying.
There's pain that does not stop.
It's a throbbing, pulsing, banging, hammering feeling in your head.
36 million Americans suffer.
I started getting migraines around 5 years old.
Just takes over everything.
I feel trapped by migraine.
It hurts like my head's gonna fall off.
And the whole world around you stops.
My world has gotten small.
You feel like the world's closing in on you. There's nothing you can do.
I had spent a year housebound. It's like you're trapped in your head. There's no escaping it. You can't leave your body.
Don't suffer alone. Make your move against migraine. Visit AmericanMigraineFoundation.org to find help, learn more, and get connected.
It's Thursday night, and you're grabbing drinks with some friends. Started off with a pitcher for the table, which quickly becomes two. There's pool. And there's the photo booth.
All right, everybody squeeze in. Say cheese!
Followed naturally by an order of wings. And another.
Can we get some extra ranch sauce?
Then there's the ceremonial nightcap.
So what are we doing this weekend?
And lastly, it's back to the car, which, if you're buzzed, could be the most expensive night of your life. Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
The human voice. It can be sweet as music, powerful as thunder,
And so, my fellow Americans,
cheerful as laughter. But for millions of people, it can also be a sign of COPD. This serious lung disease can make it so hard to breathe, you often can't catch a breath or finish a sentence, let alone carry a tune. And many who have COPD don't even know it. That's where your voice comes in. If you think you or a loved one have symptoms, talk with a healthcare provider. Early diagnosis can mean better treatments and quality of life. Join us in raising our voices for the millions with COPD who can't. Learn more, breathe better at NIH.gov.
Every day, the men and women of the United States Marine Corps demonstrate their commitment to defend the American way of life. Since 1775, we have served our nation as a force in readiness. From combat operations to humanitarian assistance in every corner of the world. No matter where the mission takes us today, or wherever our country needs us tomorrow, we always remember the land we call home. As Marines, we take a stand for each other, for our nation, for us all. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Zinc Media. Feel the power of knowledge.
is right here on this December number 11 in the year of our Lord 2017. Glad that you are here. To all of you liberty lovers and ecclesiastites all across the globe. It is a sunny day here in northern New England, and it is around 30-some degrees, just on the cusp of freezing. And I expect the snow that we got over the weekend to start melting again. It's supposed to be over 32 today, so we'll see how high it gets. But tomorrow they're expecting another storm to pass through. Oh my goodness, it's terrible. We're getting a storm. We're getting snowstorms already. It's December. Of course we're getting snowstorms. We got some Judge Roy Moore news. They're talking about a special election in Minnesota for Al Franken's seat. Now, folks, first of all, I'm surprised about this. No, I don't have too much more information on the bombing. It was a pipe bomb. Evidently, they got somebody in custody in New York City. The Port Authority has somebody in custody. It was a failed suicide bomb attempt. Don't know how many people were injured or could have been injured and killed if it was. These people are so dumb sometimes they can't even blow themselves up properly. But getting back to Franken, I kept mentioning this. Nobody picked up on it. Now, maybe it's just me. Or maybe I was on Visa mode or something at the time. But I kept asking, even the people who were talking about this, who were supposed important people and learned people and people in the know and people, inside the Beltway and all that. I was asking the question, did anybody pick up on the fact that Al Franken resigned without resigning? Did anybody pick up on that? He said, well, I will be resigning in the coming weeks. Nobody does that. I mean, if it's a planned retirement, that's one thing. I'm going to retire on January 1st. I mean, that's done. But not usually, if you're retiring or quitting or resigning out of disgrace, you don't wait weeks. How the hell is it how can he be effective for Minnesotans if he's going to resign? Everybody knows he's resigning, supposedly. So I'm just trying to figure it out. Everybody's talking about Al Franken. Well, he resigned, and there's going to be a special. Al Franken is still the senator from Minnesota. He didn't resign yet. Did anybody not pick up on this? Other than the race baiters. Well, yeah, you got some race baiters out there who are talking about John Conyers. Look at John Conyers, man. John Conyers. He walked Martin Luther King Jr. John Conyers went away. And you got that white man from Minnesota, Al Franken, who resigned without resigning. I'm just saying. I'm just wondering if anybody else picked up on that. Because evidently the lamestream media, including Fox, still hasn't picked up on it. And I was plastering it all over the place after he did it, after his little speech. It was kind of like watching Biden or listening to Biden tell us that he wasn't running for president. Anybody remember that stupid speech? It was 20 minutes telling us what, and it really wasn't all that much about him not running. So now we get we get John Conyers, who's short and sweet, pretty much. Yeah. In that weak elderly voice, the man's 88 years old. And he's gone. He resigned immediately. You know, kind of effective at noon today, I will have resigned my seat. And then you get Franken, who calls all the women that have accused him of sexual impropriety liars. I have apologized, but really, I don't remember it the way they remember it. So Al, the pictures don't jog your memory at all? You know, the actual, I love this stuff. Well, Trump did the same thing. No, Trump didn't do the same thing. Trump didn't admit to doing anything like this. And there are no photos of Trump doing it. I love how they try to bring it doesn't matter what it is that a Democrat does. They all got to bring in Donald Trump and somehow say, well, look, Trump did the same thing. No, the jackasses that you're talking about have been proven to have done what they, and some of them have even admitted it. I'd love to, this is what would happen. This is how bad it has gotten, folks. Getting away from Franken for a second. This is how bad the Trump derangement syndrome has gotten. You get, I don't know, let's take Joe Kincannon out of New York City. His competitor, well, he lost his race for city council back in September. I think he'll be back when the seat is up for election again, and maybe this time New Yorkers will be smart and elect Joe Kincannon in his district of Queens. But let's just take this is how bad this Trump derangement syndrome has gotten. Now, Joe Kincannon was very big on local issues that were very local to Queens, and some people are making fun of him. Oh, yeah, Joe, he's talking about fixing sidewalks. We got all these big... No, that's exactly what he's supposed to be doing. So you got Joe Kincannon out there trying to get, bringing to issue how the city of Queens residents' tax money is not being spent to keep up their neighborhoods, the public services of their neighborhood, i.e. their streets. Their sidewalks are in disrepair. Certain infrastructure needed to be repaired, wasn't getting done. Traffic lights not working, stop signs not where they're supposed to be, that kind of thing. That's what your local city councilmen and stuff are supposed to be doing and making sure it gets done. So you got Joe Kincannon's competitor. The guy he was running against. He was an incumbent, I guess. Now, he runs out there. There's a picture of him pulling down a stop sign on a particular corner. Okay, I mean, this just we're making this stuff up here. This is shits and giggles type of stuff. So they've got a picture of it. And he's ripping it down. Now maybe this happened before he was elected. Let's just say, he was a kid. He was a teenager vandalizing, and he was tearing down. And here's a stop sign that Joe is now saying that needs to be put back up. Well, he's the guy that took it down. And there's a picture of him. And he gets up there and says, well, we really weren't doing any vandalism. I don't recall the way that people are saying it happened. I don't remember it that way. But there's a picture of him tearing it down. And then you get some nut job who's a supporter of Joe Kincannon's opponent that says, yeah, Joe Kincannon talked about doing it. He did it too. Because, Joe Kincannon, being a teenager, like the other guy, he says, hey, maybe we should, just for some fun, we could, if we were rich and powerful, if our parents were rich and powerful, we could run out and tear down a bunch of stop signs and not get in trouble for it. We could if our parents were rich and powerful. So, and somebody overhears that conversation and then says, well, look, he's not the only one who did it. Joe Kincannon admitted to doing it. No, Joe Kincannon didn't admit to doing it. He said if his parents were rich and powerful, he and his friends could go out there and do it and get away with it. But Joe Kincannon was now being accused of doing it. That's Trump derangement syndrome. The left, the Democrat, actually gets caught, admits to doing it, but just says, well, I don't remember it happening that way, admits to actually doing it. There is visual evidence of him doing it, and yet and still somehow it's Joe Kincannon's fault. So that would be construed as Kincannon derangement syndrome, but this is what we got now with Trump. Every time a Democrat gets caught doing something, they've got to bring in Donald Trump. Well, Donald Trump did it too. No, Donald Trump didn't do it. He didn't do it. This is maddening. It is absolutely and completely maddening. Now, by the way, does anybody think that any Republican would be able to get away with resigning without resigning? Oh, no. You'd have MS Mess and the Clinton News Network all up in their grill. Oh, you didn't resign. So, which is why I'm asking, why isn't anybody else noticed or picked up on the fact that Al Franken did not resign? Or, he resigned without resigning. I don't know, is that possible? We're supposed to wait and find out when he's actually going to step down and within the coming weeks. What is he waiting for after tomorrow's election in Alabama? I don't understand this. I don't understand how he's getting away with. Hey, I'm going to resign, so any ethics inquiry stops, right? Because he resigns. But he didn't resign. But the ethics inquiry investigation stopped. I'm sorry. Look, I'm sorry for harping on this, but this is important stuff. Oh boy, I got too much stuff. You guys in the chat room, you're distracting me. I'm not easily distracted, but you guys got to leave that poor idiot alone that you're playing with on on Twitter. He's just look. I already called him out. He's a sad little man, and it's unfair. Because you guys have got brains that you use, and he doesn't. So that's unfair. And if you're not able to read the chat room, then I'm sorry for bringing it up. But yeah, I'm not going to try to explain it. It would take too long to explain. But let's just say that there are some idiots out there in the Twitterverse that they try to challenge the wrong people, and this time this idiot challenged the wrong person. And now they're just embarrassing him. And they're not being mean; they're just embarrassing him. And the problem is that this guy doesn't even know this Twitter person doesn't even know that he's been totally and completely and utterly embarrassed. But that's the leftists for you. They sometimes they're just so clueless, blind, and stupid. They really are. They're just completely, utterly blind and stupid. Oh, boy.
You're listening to the Rod Eccles Show, the coolest, most politically incorrect, conservative black man on the planet.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 800-595-2614 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 595-2614 to take your call now. Call 800-595-2614. That's 800-595-2614. Again, 800-595-2614.
We've all heard of male enhancement, But now there's an expert on true male enhancement in the areas that really count. In Herb Ellis's book, Husband 2.0, Real Male Enhancement, you'll find answers to questions like, why doesn't she want to have sex? A quick start, quick results workout guide, plus what you can do as a side hustle to make money now. With all the great tips in this book, every man can benefit. Get the book, Husband 2.0, Real Male Enhancement, on Amazon.com.
It started with a knock, but it wouldn't end there. What happens in the story next, many wouldn't understand, and most wouldn't believe. 5 + 2 = Perfection by Samuel Rosette Jr. is a must-read. The scriptures within are reminders of the ancient past, and yet intriguingly infuses with texts which stand on the edge of the stage of relevancy. Available online at Westbow Press, Amazon, Books A Million, Barnes & Noble, and SamuelRosetteJr.com.
You know, a couple of weeks ago, a long-haired young person came into our bank and said to me, I bet you won't lend me money to buy an electric guitar. Well, he was making $100 a week, and he was over 18, and I said, I bet you I will lend you money to buy an electric guitar. And I did. So what happens? The punk gets busted for possession of dangerous drugs, and we're out $350. There's one thing about kids nowadays. You don't have to give them credit.
Universal Bank. We trust you. About as far as we can throw you.
Tis the season of to show love and forgiveness, and to have real hope out there. It really is. That's what the season is. That's what a lot of this music is about, this specialty music. And this next song, of course, everybody knows it. It's the most wonderful time of the year. And that is true. It's an amazing time of the year, and people can... there is an air of love and togetherness in the air, in spite of those who want to try to murder us, maim us, kill us, decapitate us, all that kind of stuff. So we don't like to think, and they even look. This evidently this guy in New York City tried to blow himself up. Did such a bad job of it that he couldn't even blow himself up. Evidently, he's going to live and survive, and then he's going to be, our court system is going to punish the you-know-what out of him. Good, but maybe we shouldn't. Well, I shouldn't talk about this time of year. So let's just get to the song. It's the most wonderful time of the year. Love, peace, and harmony.
It's the most wonderful time of the year, with the kids jingle belling and everyone telling you be of good cheer. It's the most wonderful time of the year. Hey, it's the happiest season of all, with those holiday greetings and gay happy meetings when friends come to call. It's the happiest season of all. Oh, there'll be parties for hosting, marshmallows for toasting, and caroling out in the snow. There'll be wonderful stories and tales of the glories of Christmases long, long ago. It's the most wonderful time of the year. There will be much mistletoeing and hearts will be glowing when loved ones are near. Oh, it's the most wonderful passes long, long ago. It's the most wonderful time of the year. Come on. There'll be much mistletoeing and hearts will be glowing when loved ones are near. It's the most wonderful time. It's the most wonderful time. It's the most wonderful time of the
It's the most wonderful time of the year. And that it is. I love this time. This is how, for people who know me, they understand that I do love the Christmas season. I do. It's just not that I'm into the commercial aspect of it, because I avoid malls like the plague at this time of year. But I do love going around and just being a part of society at this time of year. You walk downtown, small towns or city downtowns or big cities like New York City. There's a different type of atmosphere in the air. People have a different. I mean, if you go into the stores, people tend to be rude because they just want to get the gifts and get the hell out because there's too many people. But you get out for the most part. The display at Saks, it was ridiculously packed. But the air of forgiveness of the people who are packed in and that crowded was amazing. There was very little shoving and pushing and shouting and screaming and yelling and threatening. Everybody was trying to enjoy the same thing and helping others to enjoy it. And it was just amazing. You're trying to get a picture of something, and people around you get out of your way so you can get a picture of that perfect shot of the tree. It's just this is the time of year. It's a great time. I have no idea why, well, hey, if you're into love, peace, and harmony and understanding, that's why Muslims don't like it.
Dad, we need to talk.
Can we just enjoy the drive?
If you're not going to listen to me, who will we listen to?
Jeffrey. Marcia Gay Harden, what?
Eyes on the road, Dad.
What are you doing? What are you doing in my back seat? How did you get in here?
You're getting older.
Not that old.
Your brain's changing. It's natural.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Honey, I've got experience with this. Jeffrey, brain health is all about making the most of your brain as you age and helping to reduce some of the risks to your brain.
Really? Now that's interesting.
So, you'll talk to her about this, but not me. Marcia Gay Harden? Where did she go?
Learn what you can do to help keep your brain healthy at brainhealth.gov. She didn't say goodbye? I mean, I would have. Visit brainhealth.gov.
Every day, 70,000 puppies or kittens are born in the U.S. Cute, right? What's not cute is that half of all litters are accidents, which leads to millions killed in shelters each year. Turns out, those little cuties can get pregnant sooner than you think. But here's the good news. You can stop the accident before it happens. When you bring home a pet, get them fixed at 4 months old. Prevent more. Fix at month 4. Visit fixat4.com for more information. Brought to you by Best Friends Animal Society.
There's a threat targeting America. One that's growing fast, but may still be hard to see. Lyme disease. Spread by tiny ticks, often smaller than the head of a pin. This dangerous disease is now more widespread than West Nile, tuberculosis, and HIV/AIDS combined. And if left untreated, it can lead to arthritis, facial paralysis, and even memory and concentration problems, often called brain fog. As the threat of Lyme disease grows to more than 300,000 projected cases each year, it's time for us to target Lyme disease. That means checking for ticks when you've been outside, even in your own backyard. It means seeing a doctor if you experience the symptoms of Lyme disease, which can include joint pain, flu-like symptoms, fever, fatigue, or sometimes a bullseye-shaped rash. Set your sights on stopping Lyme. Learn how you can target Lyme disease at targetlyme.org.
Battles aren't won solely on the field. That's a common misconception. Battles are won within, over enemies of fear, enemies of doubt. In that place where promises are kept. Promises to oneself.
This is a physical training event!
Promises to one's community.
Healthy people move debris out of their house.
Promises to one's country. In the heart of every Marine, you'll find a promise. A promise forever kept. A promise of battles won.
We're here early before they wake up. We stay late. We stay informed. We invest in the latest technology.
We take the time to train the next generation of doctors and nurses. We work together to make sure we heal their bodies and their minds.
We do this not because it's our job, but because this is about our veterans' lives. This is our mission. More than 300,000 of us working as one, together with families and loved ones. No matter where they live in this country, we'll be there.
We all come together and stand together to serve our veterans. We stand strong, united. Stand with us in caring for our veterans.
Hi, this is Kelsey Grammer. When military service members head into battle, none are expected to face the enemy alone, but many return home and become isolated as they struggle with the visible and invisible wounds of war. It can be difficult knowing how to overcome that challenge and rekindle bonds similar to those formed in the military. Wounded Warrior Project supports these injured veterans through their recoveries by connecting them with fellow warriors and their communities. No one should fight this battle alone. Join us at woundedwarriorproject.org.
So now there's how many of you out there have heard about what CNN reported on the president? I mean, these people. This is a real illness, folks. This is really not a laughing matter. I mean, I know we're laughing our asses off, but this really isn't a laughing matter. I believe that there really is a disease, a mental disorder that we've dubbed Trump derangement syndrome. Now, it's not just for Trump, basically, folks. It's really not. This is conservative derangement syndrome. They've always had it. The problem is now is that Trump has really caused it to manifest itself in such a way that everybody's noticing it now. It's really the Trump derangement syndrome really is conservative derangement syndrome because CNN is now reporting about how much TV Donald Trump watches. He watches 8 hours. That's not possible for the president. 8 hours a day? But wait. Oh, and he drinks up to 12 cans of Diet Coke a day. And he likes fast food. Well, first of all, that's pretty damn American. How often do you go to McDonald's or any place else, and what do they have? You know, they have, supersize me and give me a Diet Coke. Well, there's no calories in diet soda, right? Well, I thought that's what everybody wants. You know, no sugar. No real sugar. Isn't that what places like Philadelphia is taxing people on, the sugary soft drinks? Well, if they don't drink a sugary soft drink, they're not going to gain weight, according to Philadelphia. So I guess Donald Trump is ahead of the curve. So he drinks diet soda. Hell, remember what? Yeah, and Ronald Reagan ate jelly beans and George H.W. Bush didn't like broccoli. So what? That's supposed to be news? So Donald Trump likes Diet Coke. I don't, but he does. Big freaking hairy deal. Who doesn't like fast food? I mean, damn, over the weekend, I just had myself some Five Guys. Unless you're some granola idiot eating hemp seeds, you know, every American likes fast food. And there are a lot of us who eat quite a bit of it. Well, I don't, but I used to in my younger days. But we eat a lot of this stuff. Even the fast food that we don't even really consider to be fast food. I mean, now you can get healthy fast food like salads to go or something like that. You know, it's just ridiculous. You go into Wendy's has got them, and McDonald's has got salads, and I guess Burger King does too. But the traditional fast food restaurants have healthy alternatives, and there are healthy. There's a place in Keene, New Hampshire, salads to go. It's just a salad joint. Now, whoever would have thought that you could make a business out of making nothing but salads, or mostly salads? But that's exactly what they've done. So they're fast food salads. So yeah, he's you know, folks, this is the same thing as with Mitt Romney. Remember, Mitt Romney's Mitt Romney doesn't smoke. He once said, you know, he was 60-something years old when he gave this interview, and he said, yeah, he's never had an alcoholic beverage in his life. 60-something years old, never had an alcoholic beverage. And everybody, you know, everybody in the news media, the left-wing media, they thought that was strange. That wasn't normal. He doesn't drink. He doesn't smoke. I don't think anybody's ever heard Mitt Romney actually use a 4-letter swear. He wasn't normal. Right? Isn't that what they were saying? So now, Donald Trump he doesn't drink either, evidently. And no, he's not an alcoholic. He never has really drank a lot. Nobody's ever talked about Donald Trump going on alcoholic benders. Ever. He doesn't smoke. He doesn't use tobacco products. Well, I mean, Mr. President, I'd be happy to introduce you to cigars. It's a very manly respite. It's a wonderful thing. You don't inhale them. It's not like cigarettes. You don't inhale them. I'd be more than happy to introduce you to cigars. I'm pretty sure you enjoy. You don't have to have alcohol when you have a cigar. I mean, oftentimes I'll just have coffee. There's even a cigar website, Cigar Aficionado. One of his posts tells you how to pair certain cigars with certain soft drinks. Dr. Pepper goes best with this kind of cigar. And you know what? He's right. He was absolutely right. There are certain soft drinks that are very good with certain kinds of cigars. You don't have to have alcohol. And you don't have to have coffee. Although I didn't see any pairings with tea in cigars, by the way. Just saying. Coffee, yes. Even flavored coffees. But I'd be more than happy to help the president learn about cigars. I mean, I'm not a huge cigar aficionado. I'm not a cigar expert, but I do know what I like, and I know which ones are good, and I'd be more than happy to share that with the president. So, you know what? I would sit down and have a cigar with President Trump. I would not sit down and have a beer with former President Barack Obama at any point. Never. You will Barack Obama and I will never be seen sitting down at a bar somewhere having a beer. It just ain't going to happen. Not that it's not possible. Let's just say it was in the realm of possibility. It was. I wouldn't. I would sit down and have a cigar with President Trump. I mean, so this is going to be news. How much soda the president drinks. Yeah, I know. Yeah, he drinks up to 12 cans. Okay. There was also something else over the weekend that I heard. The president likes to go to his own doctor for checkups. Okay. But that's a problem for some on the left. Okay. It has come down to nitpicking stuff like this now. That's what this all about. That's what it all is. Judge Moore. Doug Jones evidently fails. The entire Democratic Party is trash. Now, today basically is the last full day of campaigning in the Alabama special Senate election. Roy Moore is currently up in the Real Clear Politics polling average by nearly 4 points. All the polls that they tracked, none of those showed Doug Jones with a lead since November 30th, and that was inside the margins yesterday. Ala Pundit predicted Moore would win by 7 points tomorrow. So all indications is now I don't know what the hell is going on down there. I've tried to follow this thing, but it's just the news coming out of Alabama is just so biased. It is not really possible to keep up on what's going on down there. I mean, honestly, I don't. There's no way to get some accurate information. But now, just before November 30th, there were some polls that had Moore down by as much as double digits after these allegations. You know, the interesting thing is there was some idiot on Twitter. Now, folks, I understand now why Rush Limbaugh hates Twitter. I really do. Now, I don't hate Twitter. But I understand why Rush Limbaugh talks about Twitter is full of a bunch of, Neanderthals and drivel, slobbering, drooling, drivel idiots. There was some jackass on Twitter. Now, I don't even know how it got into my feed. I don't follow this guy. But it got into my feed. And I'm reading it, and I'm thinking, well, thank you, Twitter, for sending this guy my way, but he's an idiot. And he was listing a number of reasons not to like Trump. The problem is, he was listing everything about the Democrats and the Clintons. Really? But he was blaming Trump for the Clinton mess, basically. And I'm thinking to myself, is this for real? This is not real. So we have one of the things that he says, well, hey, Judge Roy Moore, you conservatives, you like Judge Roy Moore, an admitted proven pedophile. Like, when was it proven? The woman who said that the yearbook entry of Moore, she even admitted that at least half of it was fake. She forged it. She forged a lot of that stuff that he said. Well, obviously he didn't say it. She admitted it. But this jackass is going to point out the fact that Roy Moore is a pedophile. There's no proof of that. As a matter of fact, one of the people that started this whole mess about Moore just admitted she faked it. So guess what? I guess Moore was right when he denied it. I didn't do that. She faked it. She lied. And Gloria Allred, her lawyer, knew it. That was the whole point of her keeping him from seeing the original. I don't. These people are just absolutely. The conservative Trump derangement syndrome is just rampant. So you got Moore, Jones, who went out, and I didn't believe any of those surveys and polls anyway when they had Jones up by double digits. I thought that was just ridiculous. But again, it was just one of those things. It was the equivalent of an October surprise. It was just one of those things that did not work out for liberals, because the fact is that even when somebody is accused, now I love this. Roy Moore needs to resign from running for office because he was accused of doing something. Even Ben Shapiro. Now, I don't like real. He's probably a nice guy, and I really have nothing against Ben. He's hard to listen to for me. His tonality, his voice is kind of grating, and he talks too damn fast. I don't know. Is Ben Shapiro? Is he from New York City? He talks fast. Now, I'm not saying that you need to talk slow, but when somebody talks like this all the time, and his entire program is Ben Shapiro's talking this fast through the entire thing, it's like he never even takes a breath. He just keeps going and going and going like the Energizer Bunny. It's hard to follow him. But Ben Shapiro is even saying, well, Judge Roy Moore should step down because of credible allegations. What's so credible? Ben, one of the females, had just come out and admitted that she lied. How is that credible? You're allowing now for there to be a weaponizing of accusations. So anytime anybody gets accused of anything serious, they're supposed to drop out of a race or resign their position. Everybody's going to be resigning or dropping out because somebody's just going to, hey, look, let's just accuse him now. Now he has to get out of the race. It's a bunch of BS. Moore said he didn't do it. Now one of the accusers said, yeah, well, I kind of lied about some of it. Well, if she lied about some of it, that's really important stuff. If she lied about some of it, how much more did she lie about? Her entire accusation, by her own admission, is now suspect. Do people understand this? This woman's entire accusation now is suspect because she just admitted last week that she faked some of this stuff. She lied about some of this stuff. You know what that means? That means if she's sitting down in a court of law on a witness stand, everything that she says is now suspect. Everything. Now you don't know what the truth is and what's the lie. And what's the fantasy? Because you can't trust them. So this, just unbelievable with this. So tomorrow we're it's going to be over. I can't make any kind of prediction on this whole thing down there. I have because the news is all over the place. Jones is up by double digits, and then Moore was up by 9 for one poll. He's Ala Pundit's predicting he's going to win by 7. Clear says he's only up by 4. Jones hasn't led since November 30th, but people think Jones is going to win because he's getting more and more people to his rallies. But do you see pictures of his rallies? There aren't a lot. I don't know what the hell's going on down there. I'm not in Georgia. So we're going to find out tomorrow, obviously. And now it's a referendum on Trump because Trump is backed and openly backed and verbally backed Moore for Trump's own obvious truthful and logical reasons, because it would be a bad idea to have Jones represent Alabama. Because all he's doing, Jones is a never Trumper. He's an anti-Trumper, plain and simple. And he's a Democrat, so that's terrible for Trump's agenda and for the rest of America. Moore, on the other hand, would be whether you like him his politics or not, he would be much better off for the conservative agenda, obviously, than Jones would. But will he get to serve? I don't know, because you got those in the Senate now. They're saying, well, if he wins, we're going to open up an ethics investigation. What if he didn't do it? What if all of them lied and he didn't do anything that they're saying about underage women? Now, remember, a lot of this stuff was 40 years ago or more, when Moore was much closer. I know we look at him now. Moore was with a 14-year-old girl. Well, Moore wasn't 70 years old back then. He was much closer in age. No, he was still an adult, so he shouldn't have done it if he did it. But anyway. By the way, has anybody seen the video of this little? Well, he's not a little kid, but this young man. What is he, about 12 or 13? Keaton Jones. It just blew up over the weekend, went viral. About bullying and him being bullied. It really breaks one. It breaks your heart, seriously. But you know, if his parents guide him through this difficult part of his life correctly, he's gonna grow up to be a very strong individual, very strong man, and he's going to be able to stand up to anybody and anything that they throw at him, and he's probably going to be very successful at whatever he does if he gets the right guidance. If they just mamby-pamby the kid and just, oh, poor Keaton, he's going to end up being a wishy-washy, millennial, feminized male. I don't think that's going to happen. But, it's kind of, but watching the video and listening to the kid, it kind of breaks your heart, it really does. But, he's got a lot of people on his side now. So I don't know how he asked a great question. Why do people feel so better about themselves when they make others feel terrible about themselves? Damn good question, Keaton. Damn good question.
I'm not Rod Eccles, and I approve this message.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 800-595-2614 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 595-2614 to take your call now. Call 800-595-2614. That's 800-595-2614. Again, 800-595-2614.
We've all heard of male enhancement, but now there's an expert on true male enhancement in the areas that really count. In Herb Ellis's book, Husband 2.0, Real Male Enhancement, you'll find answers to questions like, why doesn't she want to have sex? A quick start, quick results workout guide, plus what you can do as a side hustle to make money now. With all the great tips in this book, every man can benefit. Get the book, Husband 2.0, Real Male Enhancement, on Amazon.com.
It started with a knock, but it wouldn't end there. What happens in the story next, many wouldn't understand, and most wouldn't believe. 5 + 2 = Perfection by Samuel Rosette Jr. is a must-read. The scriptures within are reminders of the ancient past, and yet intriguingly infuses with texts which stand on the edge of the stage of relevancy. Available online at Westbow Press, Amazon, Books A Million, Barnes & Noble, and SamuelRosetteJr.com.
A couple of weeks ago, a long-haired young person came into our bank and said, "I'll bet you're a Nazi." Well, I love America, support the Constitution, and believe in capitalism. So I told him I'm not a Nazi, and I'm not. So what happens? The punk breaks out 2 windows and pepper sprays an elderly woman in the face. You know, there's one thing about long-haired young people nowadays. They're real assholes. Long-haired young people. You suck.
millennial out there is having some trouble making ends meet, evidently. Here's a story from Zero Hedge. Plasma for pay. Broke millennials sell blood just to survive. Now, I hadn't heard this one before. And I didn't realize the extent that millennials will go to for alternative sources of income. Evidently, there could be as many as 2.5 million college students selling sex on websites to cover expenses. Yeah, there's also a new trend with millennial women auctioning their virginities to the highest bidder. There was evidently an Abu Dhabi businessman paid $2.9 million for a 19-year-old model's virginity. In other weird sexual things that they've been auctioning off or selling online, there's also selling their blood or plasma. In fact, there's a particular one, according to Zero Hedge, that they zeroed in on. Her name is Cheyenne Johnson, and a former Lane Community College student. She says that twice a week she visits Guilfoyle's plasma donation center in Eugene, Oregon, exchanging plasma for cash in excess of $25 to $150 per week. Now, Cheyenne is only 23. She visits the facility on a regular basis because, she says, the job environment in her area is weak. So move. Yeah, take your college education and degree to a place where the job prospects are a little bit better. That seems to make sense to me. Yeah.
It was just another quiet Saturday at the Johnson home.
Honey, have you seen the hammer?
It's in the garage.
Oh, no, not the garage.
Later that same day...
Dad, I can't find the bicycle pump.
Son, I'm afraid it's in the garage.
The garage?
Then the following Tuesday...
Howard, where's the car?
It's in the garage.
Does your garage look like a giant yard sale without the yard? Do you cringe at the thought of entering your garage? Then you need Crest Garage Cabinets. With one phone call, those wonderful folks at Crest will come out to your home, design the best combination of cabinets for you, and install them quickly and professionally before your very eyes.
It's a miracle.
And unlike other companies who ask for a down payment or money up front, you won't pay a penny until your Crest cabinets are installed to your satisfaction. So call Crest today, toll-free at 1-800-548-2848. That's 1-800-548-2848. And you'll never fear going into your garage again.
And now, a message from the American Migraine Foundation.
It's an absolute nightmare. I was terrified. It was like your head's gonna explode.
Migraine is a disabling disease.
Just all of a sudden couldn't see.
Migraine has ruined my life.
Absolutely terrifying.
There's pain that does not stop.
It's a throbbing, pulsing, banging, hammering feeling in your head.
36 million Americans suffer.
I started getting migraines around 5 years old.
Just takes over everything.
I feel trapped by migraine.
It hurts like my head's gonna fall off.
And the whole world around you stops.
My world has gotten small.
You feel like the world's closing in on you. There's nothing you can do.
I had spent a year housebound.
It's like you're trapped in your head. There's no escaping it. You can't leave your body.
Don't suffer alone. Make your move against migraine. Visit AmericanMigraineFoundation.org to find help, learn more, and get connected.
The Red Cross responds to nearly 66,000 disasters every year, most of them house fires. Red Cross President and CEO Gail McGovern says you need to develop an evacuation plan and practice it, especially with your children. It takes just 2 minutes for a home to be engulfed in flames.
Practice those drills. We all think our kids know what to do. They don't. We need to teach them. We have started a large campaign where we're going into vulnerable communities and helping install smoke alarms. Already 92 lives were saved, and 4 of those lives were saved by a 5-year-old girl who remembered what we taught them during these fire drills, and she got her family out. We also have a slew of free apps that people can download onto their smartphones. It's what to do in every kind of disaster you can imagine, how to prepare and how to recover.
To help support all the Red Cross does and to make a financial donation, go to redcross.org. That's redcross.org.
It's Thursday night, and you're grabbing drinks with some friends. Started off with a pitcher for the table, which quickly becomes 2. There's pool. And there's the photo booth.
All right, everybody squeeze in. Say cheese!
Followed naturally by an order of wings. And another.
Can we get some extra ranch sauce?
Then there's the ceremonial nightcap.
So what are we doing this weekend?
And lastly, it's back to the car, which, if you're buzzed, could be the most expensive night of your life. Getting pulled over for buzzed driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzzed driving, because buzzed driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
The human voice. It can be sweet as music, powerful as thunder,
and so, my fellow Americans,
cheerful as laughter. But for millions of people, it can also be a sign of COPD. This serious lung disease can make it so hard to breathe, you often can't catch a breath or finish a sentence, let alone carry a tune. And many who have COPD don't even know it. That's where your voice comes in. If you think you or a loved one have symptoms, talk with a healthcare provider. Early diagnosis can mean better treatments and quality of life. Join us in raising our voices for the millions with COPD who can't. Learn more, breathe better at NIH.gov.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. We leave no warrior behind. Wounded Warrior Project is a non-profit organization created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war. Whether those scars are physical or mental, we're here to make sure that they heal. And whether it's helping those with post-traumatic stress disorder live a normal life again, or giving much-needed support to injured warriors in veterans' hospitals. Because no one deserves our help more than the men and women who risk their lives to keep us safe. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind. Ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
Every day, the men and women of the United States Marine Corps demonstrate their commitment to defend the American way of life. Since 1775, we have served our nation as a force in readiness. From combat operations to humanitarian assistance in every corner of the world. No matter where the mission takes us today, or wherever our country needs us tomorrow, we always remember the land we call home. As Marines, we take a stand for each other, for our nation, for us all. The few, the proud, the Marines.
You want to know what time it is? It's time to bring the rain.
Zinc Media. Feel the power of knowledge.
Yes, indeed. The fastest 3 hours on Internet Talk Radio is right here on the Rod Eccles Show. Already, the first 2 hours are in the can. Hour number 3 being brought to you by Zinc Media Arts right here on Spreaker. Yes, welcome back to all of you liberty lovers and ecclesiastites all across the globe this Monday, December number 11 in the year of our Lord 2017. You got about 2 weeks left of Christmas shopping before the big day happens and gets here. All the kids. Yeah, you know, one of the things I love still watching, and the music brings me straight back to that time period. I love watching Peanuts, Charlie Brown specials, especially the Thanksgiving and Christmas ones. I mean, well, the Halloween one and the Easter one and the Arbor Day, those are all wonderful. But yesterday I was listening to some Christmas music, and the Peanuts version of you remember one of the Christmas songs on Charlie Brown Christmas when they're all together, and the jazz I love the jazz piano that guy, I forget his name. Great stuff from him always. So, and it just listening to that song transported me back to the days of wonder. I mean, do you remember when you were, let's just say 6th grade and before? Can you remember that time period in your life? And everything was just wondrous to you. I think that's pretty much a good title for that one TV series with George Savage or Fred Savage, The Wonder Years. Everything before really middle school, it just days of wonder. You're learning something new on a daily basis, exploring who you're becoming, the world, exploring the world around you, and looking upon things with just this sense of complete and total innocence. You will never, ever. Well, once you get into the real world and you start entering the real world at middle school, really, definitely high school, then you have to go get a job when you're 6. Well, a lot of these kids don't get jobs anymore, but there becomes certain when you hit like 13 and 14, there are certain expectations that start to be built up around you. Before then, there really are, you're just a kid. Enjoy your childhood, man. There's no expectations of you. You will never, ever get to have that again. And some people, well, yeah, you can when you get older. No, because now you're viewing the world with clouded eyes of life. When you're 12 years old or younger, you haven't lived at all. You know nothing. And it's just a time of, you can look back on it with, well, many of us look back on it in fond memories. But every time I hear the Charlie, that's why I still watch Charlie Brown specials, because I just, for a half hour, I'm transported back to the time when I'm like in 3rd grade or something. It was fantastic. I had a very happy childhood. I know that there are people out there that didn't. I did. And I had an extremely happy childhood. Did I get everything? Well, no, I was a military brat. Of course not. My parents couldn't afford everything I wanted. But I didn't want for anything. I didn't go without, especially the basics and the necessities. You kidding? I had an extremely happy childhood. I didn't have to worry about jack, really, other than being hit by a nuclear bomb or my dad, going off to war in Vietnam and not coming home. But other than that, I didn't have to worry about anything. Time of wonder. And that kind of music just takes me. I miss that time. If I were to ever to be able to go back in time, a lot of people say, well, yeah, I'd go back to high school and read it. No, I wouldn't go back to high school. Are you kidding me? All these movies that we see about, people getting a second chance in high school, and even those people who've actually done it, these 20-year-olds, 22-year-olds being caught being in high school again, I would never do that. Now, I didn't hate high school, but I wouldn't want to relive it. Hell, I'd go back to the time, when I didn't have to do a damn thing basically every summer. 4th, 5th, 6th grade. That's when I'd go back to. But anyway, it is that time of year again, and we are all trying to remember and get back some of our youth, I suppose. But you're not going to be able to do it via Obamacare. Here's a story out of Miami with the Miami Herald. Millions who've gained coverage since Obamacare, but many are worse off as premiums soar. Open enrollment is about to end. It got till December 15th. I've never understood this open enrollment crap. I mean, think about it. This is like saying, oh, well, you can only buy your car insurance at a particular time of year if unless you move or something. You don't have car insurance for the whole year. So you can't get car insurance until either you change jobs or change where you live, or you wait for the open enrollment period. I never understand. That doesn't make any sense. Well, I mean, it makes perfect sense the way we have our insurance system set up, but it doesn't make any sense other than that. Open enrollment for the Affordable Care Act coverage it closes on December 15th. And the story goes, Florida once again leads all states using the federal exchange at healthcare.gov. Take, for instance, Heidi and Richard Reiter, R-E-I-T-E-R. They're sitting at their kitchen table in their Davie, Florida home and struggle to piece together the family's health insurance for 2018. The Reiters buy their own coverage, but they earn too much to qualify for financial aid to lower their monthly premiums. So for 2017, they bought a plan off the exchange and paid $26,000 in premiums for family coverage, including their two sons aged 21 and 17. Keeping the same coverage for 2018 would cost the Reiters $40,000 in premium. A 54% increase. So they selected a lower price plan that covers less but costs $29,000. This is insane. Why the hell are they even bothering? Don't get the coverage and take the damn fine. The fine is way less than $29,000 a year. And do you realize what the premium doesn't even meet the deductible that they've got to come up with first? I mean, these people are they probably have a deductible. Oh, you got to pay $7,000 to $10,000 before the insurance even cuts. They got to pay out some $30,000 to $40,000 before their health care coverage kicks in. This is insane. And yet these idiots are going out there buying it. Well, we got to have it. Take the fine. When your premiums come to be that's redonkulous, people. Why the hell are we putting up with this? And you've got a bunch of liberals running around talking about, well, all these people are going to lose their health care. They can't afford it. Do you realize that premiums at $29,000 or $40,000 is more? That is now their biggest expense. Most people don't spend that much on housing and food combined. And we're talking about premiums and this is they're not the only ones. This is not an outlier story. You regularly see people talking about, well, my premiums have jumped 50% or 100%. I'm paying more than $14,000, $15,000, $20,000 a year in premiums. Why am I doing it? Because you're an idiot. You're never going to, well, I guess you can't say never. You are not going to be able to utilize any amount of money that close to what you're paying in premiums. That's ridiculous. Well, what if I have to go to the doctor? Oh, so your hospital bills and doctor bills run $10,000. Oh, but you paid $30,000 to get them to pay the $10,000. How about you would have kept your $30,000? You'd be $20,000 ahead of the game. This is not fantasy stuff. This is not made up numbers. These are real numbers happening out there, folks, all over the country. And they're not isolated incidents. Now, sure, maybe having your premium at I don't know why the hell their premiums would be $29,000, but maybe that is an extreme example. But it is not extreme to say that there are millions of people across this country, families, who are looking at their premiums and saying, we're paying $10,000 a year. We're paying $900 to $1,000 or more per month for health insurance. There are people that are saying, my mortgage is $1,000 a month, my rent is $1,000 a month, and my health insurance is more than that. I can't afford to live where I live now because I got to buy health insurance. Stop buying it. Well, that's illegal. Take the fine then. It's a hell of a lot cheaper. But believe it or not, it makes a hell of a lot more sense too. I cannot believe that we're actually putting up with this. To me, this is insanity. This is beyond insanity. I cannot, and I realize that there are some people that. Oh, by the way, if you make $30,000 or less, you might be able to qualify, depending on the state you live in, for subsidies. Oh, so your premiums are still $30,000 a year, but you just don't have to pay the full 30. Oh, thank you. We, the taxpayer, will pick up the rest. It's insane. Stop buying it. If I'm looking at a healthcare policy and he says, "Oh yeah, it's going to cost you, you're a single guy, yeah, it's going to cost you $800 a month." I said, "You know what? I'll take the fine, thank you." There's no way in hell I'm going to be paying $10,000 to $12,000 a year. Now I don't, but there are lots of people who do. I mean, this is insanity. Stop buying it. If everybody why are they buying it? Well, why? Why do you got to go broke paying for health insurance? It's not health care, by the way. It's insurance. There's a big difference. Would you put up with this if your homeowner's insurance would cost you that much, or your automobile insurance, or your life insurance? No, nobody would put up with it. Why are we putting up with it because of our health insurance? Because the government says we have to have it. Well, BS. I don't care what the Supreme Court says. God Almighty says that I don't have to buy a damn thing that I don't want to have to buy. I mean, that's just basic human freedom. You get to decide what you do with your basic life. I'm not going to be forced by anybody. I'm not going to pay $30,000 for this kind of garbage. This is ridiculous. Why is everybody doing this? Rod, you're telling people to subvert the law. No, I'm telling people to stand up for their own individual God-given rights to make a decision about their lives. Remember, if there's a law that goes against the law of God, if man's law goes against the law of God, the law of man can be ignored. The law of God trumps the law of man. And there is no way in hell that forcing people to spend $30,000 a year or more is constitutional. It's not. It just isn't. It never will be. I can't believe these. But these are not isolated incidents. That's the problem. I mean, that's just, one family out of, a million. Unfortunately, that's not the case. These are regular people with regular numbers and regular premiums across this country. Thousands upon thousands of people are paying premiums like that, and millions more are paying premiums close to that kind of nonsense. They're spending $1,000 or more per month on insurance, not health care. Can we please stop calling this health care? Let's stop calling it health care. It is not health care, people. It is health insurance. There's a big difference between the two.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 800-595-2614 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 595-2614 to take your call now. Call 800-595-2614. That's 800-595-2614. Again, 800-595-2614.
It started with a knock, but it wouldn't end there. What happens in the story next, many wouldn't understand, and most wouldn't believe. 5 + 2 = Perfection by Samuel Rosette Jr. is a must-read. The scriptures within are reminders of the ancient past, and yet intriguingly infuses with texts which stand on the edge of the stage of relevancy. Available online at Westbow Press, Amazon, Books A Million, Barnes & Noble, and SamuelRosetteJr.com.
We've all heard of male enhancement, but now there's an expert on true male enhancement in the areas that really count. In Herb Ellis's book, Husband 2.0, Real Male Enhancement, you'll find answers to questions like, why doesn't she want to have sex? A quick start, quick results workout guide, plus what you can do as a side hustle to make money now. With all the great tips in this book, every man can benefit. Get the book, Husband 2.0, Real Male Enhancement, on Amazon.com.
Yes, love hurts. It can hurt emotionally, but more important, it can also hurt you physically. It can hurt you in a way which nobody who owns a hot tub and lives in California can afford to be unaware of. Yes, I'm talking about California hot tub rectal gonorrhea. This painful, incurable disease can make an enjoyable soak in a hot tub with family, friends, and dog into a literally unforgettable experience. If you catch California hot tub rectal gonorrhea, not only will you walk around feeling like you're about to pass a twisted sardine can lid, you'll also smell like a pile of burning tractor tires. So don't jump out of the frying pan and into the hot tub, because if you get California hot tub rectal gonorrhea, it'll really burn your ass.
This has been a public service message brought to you by the Citizens Against CHTRG Foundation. California hot tub rectal gonorrhea. We're not going to take it sitting down.
Jingle bells, Eric. Makes you want to just stomp your feet and slap your knee, doesn't it? Any case, now it is time for the Christmas song for today, for this hour. And this one is by the Cressages, Wes Putnam. Joy to the World is what we were going for. Did I not already play that? I thought I did. But anyway, let's play it again. Joy to the World by Wes Putnam.
joy to the world. The Lord is come. Let earth receive her King. Let every heart prepare him room. And heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing. Joy to the world, the Savior reigns. Let men their songs employ, while fields and floods, rocks, hills, and plains repeat the sounding joy, repeat the sounding joy, repeat the sounding joy. No more let sins and sorrows grow, no thorns infest the ground. He comes to make his blessings flow. For as the curse is found, for as the curse is found, for as the curse is found. He who rules the world with truth and grace, and makes the nations prove the glories of his righteousness, and wonders of his love, and wonders of his love, and wonders of his love.
You might be surprised to learn who has Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis. Nearly 1 in 200 Americans are suffering with a debilitating pain and constant disruption of these inflammatory bowel diseases, or IBD. Chances are you know someone with IBD. For example, your neighbor or coworker. The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation was created to help patients cope and to find a cure. People with IBD can't wait. Won't you help someone you know? Visit www.escapethestall.com today.
Were you born from 1945 to 1965? People born during these years are 5 times more likely to have hepatitis C. But most people don't know they are infected. So even if you try to eat right, exercise, and take care of yourself, you can still have hepatitis C, a serious liver disease that often has no symptoms. In fact, people can live with hepatitis C for decades without feeling or looking sick. But over time, hepatitis C can cause serious health problems, including liver damage, liver failure, or even liver cancer. Getting tested is the only way to know if you're infected with hepatitis C. That's why the CDC recommends everyone born from 1945 to 1965 get a blood test for hepatitis C. Treatments are available that can cure this disease. So talk to your doctor about getting tested. It could save your life. A message from the CDC.
Everyone is talking about healthcare these days. America spends twice that of other developed countries on our healthcare system, yet our health ranks near the bottom. How can we stop spending so much and getting so little? Shifting to a system based on primary care can help fix the problem. Patients with a primary care doctor live longer, healthier lives and are less likely to suffer from cancer, heart disease, or stroke. Primary care that is comprehensive and coordinated also saves money. Patients who have a primary care doctor spend 30% less on health care than patients who don't. States with a high number of primary care doctors have lower health care costs and higher quality care. Primary care can help make America healthy again. To learn more about the benefits of primary care, visit www.healthisprimary.org. This message is brought to you by America's Family Physicians.
It's been called shell shock, war neurosis, and battle fatigue. Today, we call it post-traumatic stress disorder, and it affects 1 out of every 5 warriors returning from battle in Iraq and Afghanistan. The Wounded Warrior Project offers comfort and support for warriors with PTSD and all other scars of war, whether those scars are visible or hidden. Find out how to help, because for warriors, the greatest casualty is being forgotten. Please visit woundedwarriorproject.org.
The Amazon's rainforest is being cut down so fast that by 2030, 55% of it could be completely wiped out. The Earth's forests can't speak up when they need help, but we can. Be the voice for those who have no voice. Visit worldwildlife.org.
There's a threat targeting America. One that's growing fast, but may still be hard to see. Lyme disease. Spread by tiny ticks, often smaller than the head of a pin. This dangerous disease is now more widespread than West Nile, tuberculosis, and HIV/AIDS combined. And if left untreated, it can lead to arthritis, facial paralysis, and even memory and concentration problems, often called brain fog. As the threat of Lyme disease grows to more than 300,000 projected cases each year, it's time for us to target Lyme disease. That means checking for ticks when you've been outside, even in your own backyard. It means seeing a doctor if you experience the symptoms of Lyme disease, which can include joint pain, flu-like symptoms, fever, fatigue, or sometimes a bullseye-shaped rash. Set your sights on stopping Lyme. Learn how you can target Lyme disease at targetlyme.org.
Dad, we need to talk.
Can we just enjoy the drive?
If you're not going to listen to me, who will we listen to?
Jeffrey. Ah! Marcia Gay Harden, what?
Eyes on the road, Dad.
What are you doing? What are you doing in my back seat? How did you get in here?
You're getting older.
Not that old.
Your brain's changing. It's natural.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Honey, I've got experience with this. Jeffrey, brain health is all about making the most of your brain as you age and helping to reduce some of the risks to your brain.
Really? Now that's interesting.
So, you'll talk to her about this, but not me. Marcia Gay Harden? Where did she go?
Learn what you can do to help keep your brain healthy at brainhealth.gov. She didn't say goodbye? I mean, I would have. Visit brainhealth.gov.
Welcome back. We've got today's holidays for December number 11 in the year of our Lord 2017. Today's holidays that you should be celebrating are International Mountain Day. Today is International Mountain Day. Celebrate mountains that are international. Not local. You're not supposed to, celebrate your local mountain. You got to be an international mountain. Pick your favorite international mountain and then, I guess, celebrate it. I don't know how you do that. There are mountain songs named after mountains or for mountains. And it is also the holiday food drive for Needy Animals Day. Yes, go out and donate to your local SPCA or other animal shelter. and give them some food for needy pets and animals. Now, obviously, the biggest stuff that they need is dog and cat food, but don't forget about other animals that these places often have to have, like, certain kinds of lizards and hamsters and things like that. So any kind of pet food that you can pick up and donate is much appreciated. Today is also National App Day. That's pretty much self-explanatory. It's also Green Monday. Green Monday is an online shopping day similar to Cyber Monday, and it occurs on the last Monday when there are at least 10 days prior to Christmas, which usually happens to be the second Monday in December. Online shoppers have historically wanted 10 days between when they order gifts and Christmas to ensure the gifts arrive in time. So in order to participate and celebrate in the day today, all you need to do is buy something online. Believe it or not, many online retailers have web pages or specials dedicated to this day. So but these deals are often not as good as Black Friday or Cyber Monday day deals, but they're still a good deal today, I guess. So the way to participate is spend money. Buy stuff. It is also National Noodle Ring Day. I'm not kidding you. National Noodle Ring Day is dedicated to a type of noodle dish that is made in a ring mold or a bundt pan. Noodle rings do not appear in many cookbooks today, but there was a time when their recipes were more easily found. A 1936 Pennsylvania Dutch recipe called for noodles to be mixed with flour, eggs, milk, and cheese, and to be put in a mold and baked. This is similar to other noodle ring recipes. Noodle kugel, a Jewish dish, has similar ingredients and is popular during Shabbat or Yom Tov. The center of the mold of a noodle ring is often filled. In a 1965 Catholic cookbook, recommended serving the dish during Lent and filling the middle hole with creamed fish or creamed fish. Ew! But in any case, by the way, there's also something else out there that we failed to mention. Those are your holidays for today. But today is, or this month, it is AIDS Awareness Month, by the way, the whole month of December. December is also Awareness Month of Awareness Months Month. I kid you, I kid you not. December is the month to be aware of awareness months. So every month you got to, there's, I don't, you got to be aware of what's, like AIDS Awareness Month. So be aware that this is AIDS Awareness Month. That's the month that this is. Yeah, I know it's convoluted, but it is. It's Farm to Food Bank Month, and it's also National Drunk and Drugged Driving Prevention Month. I thought that was every month. It's also the Bingo's Birthday Month. Bingo, not the dog, but the game. And like Movember, the beard season continues this month with Decembeard. Movember was, month of... Anybody celebrate Movember this year? I didn't hear a lot of Movember stuff anyway. But those are your holidays for today, December number 11. Enjoy. I wonder what other holidays are on Christmas Day. But anyway, U.S. deportation flight returns from Africa with all on board. Yes, this is from AJC and other sources. The government's efforts to deport 92 Somali nationals, including some who did live in Georgia and Minnesota. I don't know why they're picking out Georgia. Why are they picking out Georgia and Minnesota? That's a kind of an odd combination. They lived here in the States, so they live somewhere. But they also lived in Georgia and in Minnesota. I don't know what the connection is between Georgia and Minnesota. But the whole effort did not go as planned at all last week. The flight encountered some snags in Senegal and returned to the U.S. with all 92 deported passengers on board. The aircraft, including the detainees and crew on board, remained parked at in Dakar. They remained parked at the airport to allow the relief crew time to rest, ICE said in a statement. During this time, the aircraft maintained power and air conditioning and was stocked with sufficient food and water. Various logistics options were explored, and ultimately ICE decided to reschedule the mission to Somalia and return to the USA. With all 92 detainees, no further details were available at the writing of this story. So evidently, ICE ran into some troubles with getting the proper, getting the crew's proper rest time, and thus they just had to return to the United States with all these. What are they going to do with these people? Going to have to return them to Somalia at some point. 92 of them. Well, in any case, by the way, if you're a old Star watcher, and that means Hollywood, then you should know that Jane Fonda and Ted Turner were spotted together again for Jane's birthday, at Jane's birthday bash, I guess. How old is Jane Fonda now? She's pretty damn old. Yeah, Hanoi Jane. Yeah, she was married to Ted Turner for a while. And Ted Turner is an equal, I don't know why they even got divorced. He's equally liberalistically nutty as she is. They were made for each other, it would seem. But anyway, Ted Turner and Jane Fonda were spotted at Jane Fonda's birthday bash. In case I don't think you're going to get that on, what's his name? The Hilton dude, Perez Hilton. Yeah, I don't think you're going to find that on his website. What is his real name, by the way? I don't know. Somebody told me once, and I didn't care enough to remember. That's going to get me in trouble. How can you not like Perez Hilton? The taxman cometh. Senate, this whole tax, this whole tax issue, folks, it is just so convoluted. I mean, you got the GOP not acting like the GOP. You've got the Democrats out there using their old playbook, saying that this is a tax cut for their now, folks. Honestly, this is what the reality is when it comes to the fact that this tax cut plan is not tax cuts for the rich. In fact, many of the rich will see their taxes increase. Here's the deal with this. I know some people are playing it off, well, because we're giving businesses a tax cut. Well, the point is that we're allowing businesses to bring in more money and to reinvest more of the money instead of giving it to the government. That's not for the rich. It's for everybody involved. And considering you have almost 60% of the American population that is invested in the stock market, either directly or indirectly, it's also for the average everyday person. But that's just the point. The people who pay taxes are going to get a tax cut. In the left's mind, that means you're rich and you're getting a tax cut, because the rich is anybody who earns enough money. Now we're starting to get a definition of who the rich are according to the left. The rich evidently are anyone who earns enough to actually pay federal income tax. Since we already have like nearly 50% of the American population, working population, doesn't pay income tax, federal income taxes at all. So if you're actually earning enough where you actually have to pay federal income taxes, that's who the Democrats think is rich, because those are the people that are going to get a tax cut. If you're not paying any federal income taxes in this tax bill, it does not look like you're going to get a tax. Well, you can't get a tax cut because you're not paying anything, but you're not getting more of a handout. So you're not getting more, earned income tax credits or more credits for this or credit for a child or credit. You're not getting a government check. And so, therefore, if you are one of the people who work and pay taxes because you earn enough, then the Democrat Party says that you're rich and you don't need to keep your money. That it needs to go to people who don't pay any taxes, any federal income taxes. That's where it's supposed to go. That's where the tax cuts are supposed to go. They don't pay any income taxes anyway, so how do they get a tax cut? And the other big thing is, well, the states that have high, their argument is, if you live in a state where the state income tax is high or state taxes are high, that this is unfair to you to get rid of your deduction. I'm not kidding you. They're California, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut. They're all saying, well, this is kind of unfair. No, it's highly fair. The rest of us shouldn't be subsidizing you. Your idiocy. Now people are going to feel the full brunt of their decision to hire you guys by electing you. That's the whole point. But now there's a part of the Senate bill where marginal rates could top 100%. Certain high-income business owners would face backwards incentives. How does this even happen? Some high-income business owners could face marginal tax rate exceeding 100% under the Senate tax bill, far beyond the listed rate in there. So whatever happened to the notion, what the Democrats said, that the rich are going to get a tax cut? How about a tax rate that's more than 100%? So let me put it in perspective for you. If you are one of the people that falls into this tax category that the Senate bill has, if you earned $100, you would have to pay the government $101. Wait, Rod, what are you talking? No, you only made $100. How do you have to pay $101? It's a penalty for being successful. I'm not kidding you. Under certain circumstances, according to the Wall Street Journal, the Senate's bill, certain people at certain times could end up paying more than 100% of their earnings. Because, well, you'd have to pay the federal tax, but you're also having to pay your state tax on that. Just think about it. Okay, so the federal government says, well, you made $100, so your tax is $100. The state doesn't give you a break on that. You made $100, so the state wants their 5.25%. So now you got to give them $5 or $10 or whatever your rate is in your state. So in other words, you just got punished for making money. And now you get to keep less money than you actually earn. You understand how that works? Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I wish I was making this up, folks. This is something I wish I could make up, but no possible way.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 800-595-2614 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 595-2614 to take your call now. Call 800-595-2614. That's 800-595-2614. Again, 800-595-2614.
We've all heard of male enhancement, but now there's an expert on true male enhancement in the areas that really count. In Herb Ellis's book, Husband 2.0, Real Male Enhancement, you'll find answers to questions like, why doesn't she want to have sex? A quick start, quick results workout guide, plus what you can do as a side hustle to make money now. With all the great tips in this book, every man can benefit. Get the book, Husband 2.0, Real Male Enhancement, on Amazon.com.
It started with a knock, but it wouldn't end there. What happens in the story next, many wouldn't understand, and most wouldn't believe. 5 plus 2 equals perfection by Samuel Rosette Jr. is a must-read. The scriptures within are reminders of the ancient past, and yet intriguingly infuses with texts which stand on the edge of the stage of relevancy. Available online at Westbow Press, Amazon, Books A Million, Barnes & Noble, and SamuelRosetteJr.com.
There's some other tax news here, and it's not really good tax news. It's about, remember when I said that the number of illegals that gather government assistance, and they come from particular Central American countries, south of our border countries, basically. The Washington Times has a story here where you have President Trump is said to be willing to accept almost anything to close a deal on his tax cut bill before Christmas, including staying mum that would allow illegal immigrants to pocket a more generous child tax credit included in the package. Bet you didn't know this one. Not widely known, illegal immigrants have been collecting the payoff from the refundable tax credit for years because of an IRS interpretation of how the rule was drafted. The Republican-controlled Congress this fall had a chance to correct that in a tax code overhaul, and the Senate version doubled the child tax credit to $2,000 and expanded eligibility. The House bill increased the tax credit to $1,600 and upped the income cutoff to receive it. Both bills neglect to require that the worker have a Social Security number to claim the credit, but require only that the qualifying child have a Social Security number. That wasn't by accident back then when they first wrote this rule, by the way. Under those conditions, illegal immigrant workers with children who benefit from birthright citizenship, which is a common phenomenon in this country, estimated 12.5 million illegal immigrants could cash in on your and my tax dollars because they came here, squatted, had a baby. The baby is now a U.S. citizen because they were born here, even though the parents crossed the border illegally. And since the child is a legal citizen, they get a real Social Security number. And thus the parents who are illegal, it's all such a scam, and this thing has been going on and on for decades now, folks. So this and it doesn't seem like they're going to. So as an American, you could be forced to pay more than 100% at certain times in certain income groups, more than 100% of certain portions of your income in taxes. But people who don't deserve to get your tax dollars are going to get them. Just so you know. Finally today, Bitcoin crash is among the 2018 worries for financial markets. Deutsche Bank warns. I've been telling people about this. I'm not that enamored with Bitcoin. The bull market continues rising, and the economy added a healthy 228,000 jobs last month. So what could possibly spoil the celebration for consumers and investors in 2018? A real-life Bitcoin crash. Yes, it's a reality. They're thinking it is really going to happen. Rising inflation, danger from North Korea, and results from Special Counsel Robert Mueller's investigation of Russian meddling in the 2016 presidential election among the 30 risks for financial markets next year. The risk could boost market volatility and cause growth that is faster or slower than the German bank previously forecast. Bitcoin, you wonder where prices will even be by the end of 2017? Well, it could be way up there, but Bitcoin. The price will swings of the cryptocurrency will remain an issue in 2018, and the bottom could fall out where they're saying you could expect basically the bottom to fall out of Bitcoin. It could drop tremendously. But, and by the way, Bitcoin futures climb on the first day of trading. Now you can get Bitcoin futures. I'm still not buying the Bitcoin thing, folks. I don't think that you should either. But hey, if you like Bitcoin, then you can use Bitcoin. Not going to say that you can't. You probably really shouldn't. In any case, we are out of time for today, but we will be back here tomorrow, which is Tuesday. So join in. Until then, enjoy your day for the rest of this afternoon. Tune in again tomorrow. And hey, especially if it's going to snow outside, I guess we're going to get hit with another storm. But until then, enjoy the sunshine. May God be with you. Merry Christmas. I'm Rod Eccles. I'm out.
Damn, it feels good to be a Clinton. Damn, it feels good to be a Clinton. A shameless politician always plays her cards right. Got a crew for the fight on the airwaves. Lapdogs in the press keep their mouths tight. Cause a Clinton never needs to explain why it is what they done or with who. A real Clinton knows that they're entitled, and you don't get to know what they do.
What difference does it make?
For a Clinton, what's loaded in some fat Apple file? A Clinton plays the victim for promotion. A Clinton kills it off with a smile. Damn, it feels good to be a Clinton. A server full of secrets ain't no thing. Damn, it feels good to be a Clinton. Nothing ever hits with the sting.